Hello world and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are doing a love reading. So this is a pick a card love reading. I have 4 options for us. And the question is this person the one? Or is he or she the one? Are they your partner? Should you pursue this relationship? I have 4 piles in front of us. So you get to pick a pile. And then I have the timestamps down below. So you get to pick a pile and then I click that timestamp and I will read the cards. Remember, please take what resonates. So if you get into a reading and you're like, this just does not sound like our relationship, that's perfectly fine. Please go on and either take those messages that are for you or pick another pile. I have reservations about doing love readings online just because it is pretty personal, but also we each have our own kind of definitions of things. And what I mean by that is a tower card. Oh, and the cards can be scalable. So let's say you get a tower card in a reading. Well, I have been married for a long time, so a tower moment for me would be different than a tower moment for somebody who's just starting off in their relationship. I'm assuming that you're wondering if this person's the one. You're probably not married yet, so this is a new relationship. So I just want to throw that out there, that these energies are like scalable. So for instance, like a tower moment for me could be losing my job. But a tower moment for my daughter, who's 6 years old, is her socks don't fit right. Okay, so, or a tower moment for your day is, you just hit bad traffic all day. Versus a tower moment for your year, back to that, like you lose your job. So I just want to let you know that these things are scalable. So, and we all have our different perspectives, especially in love. For me, when I do love readings, I am looking for partnerships, reciprocity, things that flow, balance, being equals. And I know that there are people who have successful relationships where they define that differently than I do. So I just want to give you my perspective, so when I read the cards, you understand what my bias, if you will, is. So I will give you what the cards mean. We're also going to get further advice. So if you are in a tough situation, the cards can tell us, what might help us out. And also there is free will. So just because there's a tough energy right now, that doesn't mean that that's going to be forever. That's what the whole advice is about. Like, how do we meet this obstacle and overcome it? Because I also believe that successful relationships are relationships that do that grow together and they meet obstacles and challenges together. Sometimes that doesn't happen though. So, but then, that's why you're asking the question, is this going to work out? Are they the one? So I have 4 options here in front of us, and I've actually already done the reading. So they're very different messages for each pile. That's why I want to make sure that when you get into it, you take, you find out if it resonates with you, because they're very different. So for pile number 1, we have this Moonstone. For pile number 2, this Amethyst crystal. Pile number 3, this is Blue Angel or Quartz. And pile number 4, this is Orange Calcite. So you can look at the timestamps down below if like the numbers resonate, a number resonates, if the pile looked good, whatever one you are drawn toward. Hello, group number 1. If you picked the Moonstone, you are in the right spot. Each of the cards I pulled with a specific question or intent here, meant to find out if this person, this relationship, if it's the one, however you define that. So this is further advice cards. So if you're wondering like, okay, now what do I do? We will get into those after the reading. I'm just gonna, there's some glare, so I'm gonna put those over there. All right, so the first card here is the Nine of Swords reversed. And the question asked is, do they have potential to be the one? Now, yes or no question with the Nine of Swords reverse, I would say no. However, I did talk to you about like these cards being scalable, like Nine of Swords for me versus what it means to somebody else. So let me tell you what it typically means. So this is talking about like having some fear and anxiety, probably inner turmoil, and there's a lot of worry. This card in particular, there's eyes on you. I would say in a relationship, if you are feeling like this, you're feeling pretty alone. That's why I would say this is kind of a no. But we kind of have to explore the reasons why you would feel this way. Is this something you're just feeling today? Or is this throughout your entire relationship? And is this because of something in the past and your partner is helping you through it? Or is this because of your partner? So that's why I want to talk to you about scalability here. Because I would say I had myself a Nine of Swords thing go on this morning, or just me in relationships anyway. I have been with my husband, I've known him since 1999. And still, almost daily, every day, I ask him, do you like me? Do you love me? I'm that kind of person who needs like that reassurance. So for me, that's what Nine of Swords means to me. For other people though, and I always know what he's going to tell me. But if you want to ask that question and you're not sure what your partner is going to tell you, that's a problem we need to work on. Or if you could be in the beginning of a relationship and you're not really sure if you want to move forward or how it goes. But I will say that when I define a happy, healthy relationship, you should be able to share things with your partner. You should let them know what's going on inside of your head. And these worries and these thoughts, we all have them, but they shouldn't be because of your partner. If you have worries and thoughts and your partner helps you through them, great. That's a yes. If you have worries and thoughts because of your partner, well, we need to explore that more because that is an issue. So what do you need to know about them, about your partner? And we get the Devil. So the Devil isn't always terrible. In a love reading, we could talk about like a lot of attraction, a lot of lust here, which I think is good. You definitely want to be attracted to your partner. However, when we've got the Nine of Swords here, and I was like, well, are you feeling this way because of your partner? And the Devil shows up next. That is a red flag. The Devil can really talk about somebody who's being very selfish. And if you are feeling alone and your partner is being selfish, that's not going to be great for the long term. The Devil can also talk about certain types of addictions. I actually know a couple who are together. He was her sponsor. They met in rehab, and he helped her through her addictions. And they work really great together. But then again, we're putting that extra emphasis on working together. So if your Devil is making you feel like this way in the Nine of Swords, if your Devil is being very selfish, very egotistical, and And the other thing that and I'm seeing these eyes on you, the other thing that the devil does is it's kind of like, because it represents addiction, so like this person is tied to something else. Like they are other than you, right? They have these strings attached to other things. The strings attached to other things might be other potential partners. They might be their ex. And that's why you have all these eyes on you. Like somebody else might be stalking you on social media because the devil is letting them think that they have a potential future with them. So yeah, not the greatest. Let's see what else we have. Conflicting influences, and then we've got the Four of Swords reversed. So we already know that we've got some conflicting influences here with the way that you might be feeling, and then how your partner is reacting to the way you're feeling. This could talk about, I'll show you what it looks like upright. So the Four of Swords upright means that you need to take a break, right? Reversed could mean that you're waking up. So as a conflicting influence, you're waking up to their nature. You're waking up to the way they're making you feel, and waking up to like, why are these eyes on me? Why are people rooting for our relationship to fail? And that isn't always, it really should be between the two of you, but somebody is opening the door to other influences in your relationship, and that's not good. Let's see. Both the Nine of Swords, though, and the Four of Swords reverse is kind of like a release. So we could get that your partner is realizing how they're making you feel, or the release could be that you are letting go of this connection. We'll see more. So this is the favorable influences, and this is the Knight of Swords reversed. So what is favorable here is the Knight of Swords can be pretty direct. Also, knights move, right? They're on horses. This one is on a feather. There's a lot of movement in the Knight of Swords, or in knights in general. Usually a knight in a love reading is not the best because it's somebody who's like, love them and leave them. However, since this is reversed, I feel like they could want to stay. Of course, again, if this is the way you're feeling, we need to address that. And if this is their true nature, again, we need to address that. And not that people can't change, or they can't get like an awakening as to how they are treating you, or get an understanding, or, that's possible. It's possible they can change. That's why we're doing the reading here and figuring out if it's worth it, though. The Knight of Swords, though, we can also have some, this is supposed to be favorable. So because the Knight of Swords can be direct, and I would think that direct communication would be favorable. Their unfavorable qualities, though, is that they can be aggressive and ruthless and arrogant. Now, if your partner is like that, you have to use your own intuition here to know if that's true, or if they're just direct in the way that they speak. Because again, like, this is supposed to be, they're direct and they're willing to talk to you about things. The flip side of that is they could come across kind of rude, which, the devil might do that. So we just, again, things we need to watch out for or look out for. Favorable influences. So what can you do to help? And this is the World card. So it's really interesting here because it's either It's either like a meeting of the minds, like you guys get on the same page and you break this cycle that you're currently in, or you break this cycle because you break the relationship. So it's you standing up in your power and like, I don't want to feel this I don't want to be in this 9 of Swords anymore. I'm going to release. I'm going to use the 4 of Swords and I'm going to release this negative thinking, this negative talk, and be direct with your partner. Like this, when you do these things, it upsets me, it hurts me. And either they agree and you guys work on it and move forward, but you're ending this cycle, or they don't. And you end the relationship. But that's the advice here from the cards is, hey, you got to end it. You got to stand in your power. You have to let this person know what you want and expect from them. And you either end this cycle of heartbreak that you're in right now, or you just end the relationship. So one way or another, things need to change. What can your partner do to be a part of your life? Very interesting, very telling here. This is the 7 of Needles, but in reverse. 7 of Needles talks about being upright. I'll show it to you. This is betrayal, okay? This is somebody who's acting strategically when it's upright for their own purposes. But if you have a conversation with them and you're direct with them, and they need to confess everything to you. They need to talk about, this also says cowardice and conscious. So they need to get some things off of their chest and tell you what's going on within their mind. Why you feel like you have all these eyes on you. Why you feel like they aren't putting you first. So this is really a lot of communication here, because swords, 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 there's a lot of communication that needs to happen, because it's either you don't understand what they're doing and they need to explain that to you, or you fully understand what they're doing and they need to confess to that. And then we have the best way forward, and we have the Sun in reverse. The Sun is probably the most beautiful card in tarot, but again, it's in reverse. This is blocked happiness. This is maybe excessive enthusiasm. So maybe you've been staying here when you know that it isn't perfect, because you're kind of like attached to the love story, attached to what love should feel like versus necessarily this particular person. And I feel like these cards in reverse are letting you know that everything that you want can and will be available to you, but we have to break some cycles to get it. Either it's a cycle of what's going on with this person, or it's the cycle of just being with this person in general. Whew, okay, so let's see. Further advice, release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So this could also be, I said you might have eyes on you. They may be leaving the door open to their ex. Part of their confession is letting that ex go. This could also be talking about, like, if you have been breaking up and getting back together and breaking up and getting back together, and that's the person you are asking about today, let them go. If it hasn't worked all of these times, is it going to work again and again and again? What is it's a quote attributed to Einstein, like, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And then free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. And that is really connected here to the 9 of Swords, because the completion with the 9 of Swords is the release of all that negativity, the not caring, the moving on, the getting, standing in your power, and the Four of Swords. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up and you deserve to be treated better. More cards here. Reflection. The energy of reflection supports our growth through the insights we get from contemplations of self and others. So I think it's really important to, if you do decide to move, well, even if you don't, if you stay together, it's really about learning from your mistakes from the past. If you're not happy where you are, not letting those cycles control you, letting those things go. It's maybe making a pros and cons list. And like, I like this, this, and this. I don't like this, this, and this. We need to focus more on these good things and let go of these bad things. And that's whether if you decide to stay in your relationship or move on, is really important things. And then we've got 11, awareness. The energy of awareness supports our capacity to focus our attention on all aspects of the multidimensional world so that we create a reality that we truly choose. So you are choosing your reality, but you need to be aware of what's going on around you so you know that your choice is correct. You know your choice is for you. Part of this waking up, part of this understanding that you don't deserve to be treated like this, that you deserve better, is part of this awareness. Because if you don't, also part of this cycle is if you don't understand how your relationship is with this person, your next relationship could be with a person exactly like them. And a lot of times it is. We keep repeating these same cycles. So you think that, okay, this is a new person, new opportunity, but really you're just attracting the same type of person into your life until you become aware of that and until you learn from that. So that's what I have for you, group one. I know that some of this, like I was saying, that some of this can be pretty tough energy, kind of tough to hear. Again, this is just what is going on right now. Doesn't mean that you can't change that. You absolutely can. That's the whole point. We have free will. This waking up is so very important. This communication is really, really important. And the communication is important whether it's with this person over here or, the next person or any relationship in your life. So that's what I have, group one. I hope this was helpful and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you. Hello, group two. If you picked the Amethyst, you are in the right place. Each of these cards, I asked a specific question as I pulled them out or as they popped out of each deck. So I'll let you know what those are as I reveal them. And then these are further advice cards that I'm going to set over here to the side until we are ready for them. So the first card, of course, is your person the one. And you have the Temperance reverse. So this can talk about being imbalanced in your relationship. You have to decide about this imbalance, if it works for you, if it doesn't, if it's something that you guys need to work on. Temperance in reverse, I would say, yes, they do have potential to be the one. This does look like a potential relationship. You just have to watch out for imbalance. And this can talk about like an imbalance between, what each person makes. It can be an imbalance between ages. It can be an imbalance between like belief systems or religions. So you just have to, there's just an imbalance in this relationship, and not necessarily that those are a bad thing, but is it something that you're willing or able to juggle? Now, if it's an imbalance in like control or power, that's something that's going to be a little bit more difficult. And it might be something that you're willing to sacrifice right now, but in the long term, I don't know. Is that something you're willing to do? Those are questions that only you can answer. But so far, pretty positive. Second question is, what do you need to know about your person? And we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is also a very good card. We've got karma, luck, fate. Those types of things come with the Wheel of Fortune. You kind of, if you've ever seen the game show, you spin the wheel and you can be very, very fortunate, or you can be bankrupt. But that also talks about cycles. That's why there's a wheel on here. And, can you imagine what your person would be like with you and how you guys would deal with some obstacles? Because sometimes you're here at the top, sometimes you're down here at the bottom of the wheel. That's the way that life works. So that's a question you can, is this person going to be there for you? Can you guys work things out when things aren't great, when the relationship isn't new? I also think it's interesting that we've got the monkeys here. They see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. It kind of reminds me of like the beginning of a relationship where you overlook some little things that might normally annoy you. So just be cognizant of that. You might have some rose-colored glasses on. I'm sure they're really great now, but 20 years from now, can you handle the way they chew? That's a good question, but so far right now looks pretty good. And then we also have a snake over here, and that kind of represents what I was talking about of when you do come across some obstacles. Are you guys able to negotiate things and work together? And that might be where you start noticing the imbalance here. But so far looks pretty good. Then we have conflicting influences and the Messenger card. The Messenger is specific to this particular deck. And I left this one in. I left all the ones specific to this deck because I liked them. It is spirit guides, it has protection. What else does it say on here? Divine signs. So this being a conflicting influence, it almost makes me feel like you guys have, your imbalance might be in your belief systems, where you get information, maybe your background. Again, this can be okay. It's just, something that can be an obstacle in the future, and it's really important how you negotiate these things and how you move forward, and that you do it where you are respecting each other and what you believe. And then we have favorable influences, and we have the universe. The universe is reversed though. I do love this here though, because the universe talks about infinite growth. There's also patterns to the universe. It has the Nautilus on here. Right now, it has decadence, but I'm really kind of reading it upright, just kind of like as a caution that, same here kind of with the imbalance, that you need to watch out for maybe some overspending, stagnation, regress. Yeah, so just, there's an ebb and flow to relationships. I don't think that this is anything bad. In fact, like the whole card is about your favorable influences, which is why I'm reading it upright, in that you do have a lot of growth potential here. Maybe you're not feeling it at the moment. Maybe that's why you're watching this video. But it's the potential is there, and it's almost limitless. And maybe you're not feeling it because you do see this imbalance with your belief systems or backgrounds right now. I feel like though that this is something that you can overcome. And then what can you do to help? This is for you. What can you do? And we have the Chariot. I love the Chariot. This is moving forward. So if you are feeling stagnant here, this is just keep moving. The Chariot also talks about, usually there's two, this is just one snail. And I like it too because maybe you feeling stagnant because you are moving kind of slow. That's okay, just as long as it's moving forward. But I was going to say the chariot usually has two animals on it. I guess if you, sometimes a sphinx, if you would consider a sphinx an animal. So there's two sphinxes or two horses, because a chariot is usually pulled by that. And it's kind of just moving and flowing together with maybe two different separate ideas. So this is you respecting your partner, and then getting them on the same page of them respecting you too. But it's you're putting yourself out there first, and it is kind of picking up the reins and taking command. So if you are not balanced, or you feel like maybe they are controlling the relationship, this is like, hey, step up. You're a partner, you are here, let's get some control over your destiny as well. And because we're together, let's get our control over the destiny together. And then also with this, if you're feeling stagnant and you want to be moving, hey, pick up the reins. Let's go. Let's make this. Let's take this into a direction that you want to focus on. But this also has an element of determination to it, which I think that successful relationships need, because there's going to be, again, things that pop up here and there that are not going to be perfect. How do you guys handle things that aren't perfect? That's going to be really important in the future. The next card is, what can your partner do for the relationship to be successful? And this is super interesting here that you get justice. Look at the scales. First of all, we have a sword, so communication is really important. They need to let you know what they're thinking, where they're at, and if they haven't been telling you those things, you need to ask. You need to take command and find out. Also, we have the scales. So balance, again, so interesting. We've got two balance cards, and this is bringing things into balance. Maybe you need to let them know what you feel like is off kilter so that it can be in balance. I also love, like, look at the colors, like everything flows so far. Everything like goes together. And what were we talking about with the chariot? The flow. And the final advice here is the best way to move forward, and this is death in reverse. So death upright represents change. There's also growth attached to it, and I don't think we're ignoring the growth part, but this is, hey, don't change things. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And your growth, like, grow together. And I think that's important with this balance thing, is that you're bringing, and the chariot, bringing the two of you together and growing together. So that's how I see the death here. It could also talk about, again, stagnancy. And maybe this stagnation, or this, like, is just like, hey, let's put down some roots. Let's grow together. Let's intertwine some things. So let's see what we have for future advice. And we've got past life relationship. You have known each other before. Very interesting, especially with the Wheel of Fortune, where it was talking about destiny, karma, and fate. A lot of karmic relationships, you'll hear that term a lot, is because you have in your past life, you have unfinished business, so you're here to right those wrongs, so to speak. Sometimes karmic relationships, though, they talk about them where they're, you have, like, this instant attraction because you recognize them, like you recognize them from a past life. And it's almost like you've known them forever, like this instant knowing, but that's because it didn't go well before. So that's, it's there's two sides to that. However, the rest of the cards here, I think it looks pretty promising. And then very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. I think that's very, very much connected here to this chariot, where you need to decide what you want, and if you're not getting it, go in there and get this communication going, get that balance into your relationship so you get what you want. So if you're feeling like you're stagnant, that you're actually growing together. And then we've got attraction. The energy of attraction amplifies the qualities that attract and support us to our journey towards inner balance and harmony. So this is a couple things. Really interesting because I feel like with past life relationship and this the destiny thing, that there was probably an instant attraction between the two of you, and this card kind of confirms that, which is great. I love though that it talks about the journey towards inner balance and harmony, because really any relationship is just kind of a relationship of what we have with ourselves. You need to love yourself. You need to respect yourself. You need to step up in your power. You can't expect other people to love and respect you if you don't yourself, but you can like bounce that off, kind of bounce that energy off of your relationship. If you've got like a really supportive partner, you know, that can like give you a leg up or help you here, because and this card kind of takes it as, you know, our purpose here is to find this inner balance and harmony and inner peace. I just realized it. I read it before. Balance, balance, balance. Oh my gosh. So much here. And then commitment. The frequency of commitment supports our ability to devote ourselves in all aspects of our being and with unwavering belief. So I love that, the unwavering belief. I feel like, you know, maybe the imbalance is that there's not the commitment that you want. You need to let this person know that you want that commitment, and that might be why you're feeling stagnant. But what's really interesting too is this stagnant, or this like being in place where you are. That is kind of isn't that kind of what commitment is? Tying yourself down to another person. So even though I'm saying stagnant, that could actually be a positive thing, because you're coming together and staying together and staying at that point together. So very interesting group too. I think this is a very positive reading here, and you know, again, things can change in any direction at any time. We have free will, but looks very good to me. Looks good to the cards as well. So I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 3. If you picked the blue aura quartz, you are in the right place. I have each of these cards was picked with was pulled with or flew out of the deck actually with a specific question. So I will let you know what those questions are as we reveal the cards. And then these are further advice cards that were pulled for you. So I'm going to put those away for right now. So, does your person have potential? That's the question, right? That's what the whole reading is about. And we've got the Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, this person has potential, but this seems like it's pretty fresh, pretty new. Pentacles though deals with the physical. So not seeing a lot of emotion here, but you know, could grow. That's the whole point. We've got this growth, but it definitely is new opportunities, prosperity, and Pentacles can also talk about like security and stability, which I feel like is important in a relationship. You can feel differently, but I'm saying it is important, and I think that this is a good start here. What is something that you need to know about your person? So this is the Page of Pentacles in reverse, though. I think your person may not be ready for a commitment. So don't be surprised if that's what you want and your person is kind of holding back on that. This is a very kind of, again, you know, this is fresh energy. So is this. This is fresh, new energy, but kind of like immature energy, especially when we have it in reverse. So they're not really ready to step off and take that plunge. And that could be for several reasons. Could be because this is very new. It could be because they've been hurt in the past. It could be because they're never going to be ready. So you have to decide, is this just going to be, are we just going to be here for right now? And then of course, the energy can change it going forward. And we'll look at the cards with that in mind, like the potential for that, if a commitment is what you want. But certainly right now it seems very fresh and new and fun, and it's definitely something to really enjoy. It feels like good. But just be aware that your person may not be at the same level you are. I mean, you're wondering if they're the one. I don't think they're wondering that at all. There's a little bit of immaturity here, and possibly even some irresponsibility. And I don't think that they are living up to their potential. And I think that might be an issue, because right here with the Ace of Pentacles, we're like, oh, but we see all this potential. And I think that sometimes that can be really harmful in a relationship, because you see potential in something, but that's when you are really expecting them to grow and change, and they're kind of stuck here right now. So just be aware of that. And then this is the conflicting influences, and this is the star. So conflicting influences here, I was talking about the potential for them to grow and change. And I think that you're really kind of hoping for that, that you are looking to the future. The star also is somebody who heals from past wounds. So they may not be ready. They're having a lot of fun right now. We're having a lot of fun with this relationship, but it seems very physical. But that they may not be ready to move on, because they have some past things that they haven't even looked at yet. They haven't even, you can't grow from things if you don't confront them. The star would totally confront those things and grow from them. But again, the question here is the conflicting influence. So I think that they're not doing that. And they could have just like jumped into this relationship with you because they thought it would be fun. And because I'm really feeling a lot of fun energy here. Then we've got the Six of Cups reversed. This is the favorable influences. Six of Cups can talk about being stuck in the past. So the good news here is, because it's reversed, I feel like they can move on from it. But they would need to kind of find some independence. And really kind of the favorable influence here would be like healing from that past relationship so you can move forward. But still, and this is our first Cups card, which deals with emotions. So yeah, favorable influences, that's a potential that you might have them thinking that they should be moving forward, where when they met you, they were just kind of like ready to have some fun with this relationship. But you might be swaying them to the growth potential after all. Seven of Cups here, possibilities. And this is what you can do to help. It's kind of just like, hey, keep your options open, keep your possibilities open. Your person may wake up one day, because they're really fresh and young here, or at least have that kind of energy. And if they're not young, maybe it's an old dog, new tricks kind of energy. Your person may like wake up one day and feel like they need to move across the country. And this would be open to that possibility. Maybe you're open to this is really kind of just to keep, it can also be keep your options open too. If they're not ready for commitment, okay, you probably have potential for a lot of other lovers. So this is, I would think for you, this is this says a lot about you being very open and maybe not tied down to this person. Maybe it's not ready yet. And keep your options open. This also talks about wishful thinking and a dreamer. So which I feel like this star card talks about like being a dreamer too. Sometimes our dreams differ from reality, and you really need a partner that shares the same dreams that you have. And if this person doesn't do that, you know, keep your options open, because there definitely is somebody out there that does. And again, I'm just really feeling like, I know you're asking this because there's, again, a lot of potential here and a lot of fun here, but this past needs to be taken care of. What does, oh, very interesting. This is Four of Matches reversed, and this is what your person needs to do to move forward in this relationship, and it says leaving home. So if you see that here, so if they are very young and they're kind of maybe attached to their family a little bit more than they should be if they're going to move on with a relationship. Wow, this could also even mean that maybe it's really fun and light because they're married. I hope not. But yeah, so they would definitely need to leave home if that were the thing. But I still feel like there's a lot of uncertainty around them. This would be a lot better if this were upright. Fours are a number of stability, like a chair has 4 legs. But things are not fully stable for them, and it might be through their own design. Like they might just really not want or need something that's really stable right now. Stability can also deal with like your relationship with them. Maybe you haven't defined it yet, which is why the cards are saying, hey, you know what, just keep your options open. Or at least if you would want to be in a committed relationship with your person and they're not ready yet, enjoy that. Enjoy this time. You could really find that a better situation or find out something about yourself. And then interesting, the advice going forward is the Hermit in reverse. So Hermit in reverse, the Hermit is a solitary person. This would like a Cups card here for going forward. The Two of Cups would be perfect, but the Hermit in reverse, isolation, withdrawal, loneliness. I don't think it necessarily needs to be that. I think you're having a lot of fun in this relationship, and it's really kind of enjoy what you've got right now. Just be in the moment. Let that help you discover who you are. And it's just a really like in the moment energy right now. This doesn't seem like it's something that's very serious. You keep your options open and be okay if it ends. And yeah, okay. Then we've got romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So yeah, I feel like but you may be more into this than they are, but there are reasons for that. And then keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. I get a different kind of flip, almost like a flip for the cards here, is that this person might be somebody that you put in the friend zone. And be open to different possibilities. Is that, hey, you know, you've got this really great friend over here that would make a fantastic partner going forward if you keep an open mind. So wow, it's interesting how just like that just kind of flips things a little bit. Again, if that resonates, great. If that doesn't, you know, take what resonates. And then we've got romantic love. The frequency of romantic love supports our expression to know ourselves through the reflection of a conscious lover. I love these cards. They're very, very much centered, even though they're relationship cards, they're very much centered around you as a person. You have to look inside yourself, kind of this hermit here, and love yourself first. And you have to know yourself before you can know what you really want in another partner. So first of all, the romantic love talks about definitely an attraction. And I'm feeling the attraction. I'm feeling like you have romantic feelings, romantic love. And maybe you have put them in the friend zone because of, I don't know, you don't like their job, or they still live at home, or whatever reason, or you thought that just something wasn't always perfect with them. But keep your options open and get to know yourself a little bit more, to know what you really want in your romantic partner. And then second chakra, the energy of the sacral chakra, helps us to navigate through our emotions and support our ability to enjoy the sensual world. So very nice. The sensual world, I love that, because that's, I think, sensualness, and talks about being intimate with another partner that you're attracted to. Emotions are really important. Emotions help to guide us. They help to navigate us. They help to let us know what we like and what we don't like. So in any given situation, examine your emotions and ask, why are you feeling this way? What does that tell you about yourself? And I think that'll help guide you further with this relationship, if it's something that you really do, because it has potential, but it just really seems kind of superficial right now. If you really want to just enjoy this moment and put in, and be okay with the time that you put in, or if you're like really open to other possibilities, that there's other things out there that you want to explore. So I know this wasn't necessarily definitive, but I think that some of these things, I hope they resonate with you and help you navigate a little bit further into what you want to do with this relationship. So thank you, group 3, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 4. If you picked the orange calcite, you are in the right place. Each of these cards got pulled with a specific question in mind, so I will let you know what that question is as we go through the cards, and then this is further advice cards. So what should you do further? So the first card we have is the High Priestess. Do they have potential to be the one? That is the question. The High Priestess says, look into your subconscious and your intuition. You know the answer. So I know you want like a yes or no answer, but the High Priestess is like, in your gut, So I love like the crown and the ball here on the top of the High Priestess's head. Oh, also an owl is for like wisdom. But that can be like your inner voice, and I like the like little rays coming off of that. It's like to listen to your inner voice. And I talked about like the gut. A lot of times we have feelings in our, like the pit of our stomach. Do you have butterflies? That kind of thing. That is actually the second concentration of serotonin in your body, and serotonin is really important in helping you navigate your feelings. So yeah, it's straight yes or no. Are they the one? This is a pretty promising card, but the cards are throwing it back to you. What do you think in your gut? So the next question, ooh, interesting. What do you need to know about them? And we get the 6 of buttons. So buttons is very much about the physical world, about money, about security. our physical, our bodies, our physical security. And Six of Buttons reversed, it says unpaid debt, stinginess, and self-interest. So that might be something to be caution about. This could be somebody who's very like they drive a nice brand new car and they dress really well and they look very successful, but underneath that they may not be. This can also talk about or I talked about scalability. I hope I did. And I wanted to talk about scalability in the intro, because sometimes these cards mean different for different people. So this could just be that somebody who doesn't tip very well. I read a story about Kelly Cuoco. She's in The Big Bang Theory, and when she went to Hollywood and she first started dating, she was dating a Hollywood star, and that she was really embarrassed because when they would go out, he wouldn't tip very well. And that was kind of like a deal breaker for their relationship. So just something to all that glitters isn't gold there, and if it is something that matters to you or not. And it doesn't mean that going forward, like they can't get things together. I mean, a lot of things happen. It could be student debt, it could be medical bills, things like that. But it's certainly something that you need to know, and perhaps because you need to know it, they might be holding that back from you. What do you need that was what do you need to know about them? Our next question is conflicting influences. Very interesting, the soul, higher being, belief, and this is the Beyond card. This card is specific to this particular tarot deck. I left it in because I like their cards that they added. Belief systems. So conflicting influences here, belief systems, and if it's related to money, like again, that whole tipping thing, like you may think that you need to tip more than they do, and that could be a conflict between you. It could be, and I don't think that's a huge thing, but for some people, like that's a deal breaker. Another conflicting thing with belief systems could be like different religions or different family backgrounds. And it's okay to have different, different beliefs from people who are close to you, as long as that you can be respectful of each other and deal with that. So just know that right now, like that's the conflicting influence. And then the favorable influence is the Knight of Cups reversed. So that's interesting that it's reversed. This says heartbreaker. I'm not going to use that because the position of the card is for favorable influences. I don't think that heartbreaker is favorable. But I'm going to talk about the Knight of Cups, because even upright, the Knight of Cups comes off as this charmer. He's riding in on this white horse. He's handing you his cup, sweeps you off his feet. It's a lot of romance. He tells you all of the right things, right? But he's still a knight. So he's on his horse, he's moving forward, and it's usually not a relationship that has, even though it's, and again, energies change, and that can be how it starts, and then we grow and we change. But because this is a reverse, I think that there is that potential for this charmer and this romantic person to grow into more than just this knight on the white horse who comes in, kisses the maiden, and is out of here because he's got to go to the next battle. So because this isn't our favorable, that's what we're going with. Also, he can be an idealist, he can be very charming. Those things are very lovely, but that might be why the cards are saying, hey, but they're very charming, but there could be some problems here in the physical with dealing with some money issues. What can you do to help? We've got the Four of Wands in reverse. So maybe let go of some expectations. Four of Wands is kind of like people at a party, but it's more than that. It's almost like a wedding ceremony. A lot of times Four of Wands can be a sign of, oh yeah, you could get, there's a wedding in your future, but this is reversed. So also could be letting go of maybe some stability, that if you've been thinking, okay, this, you're dating this person because they drive a nice car and you think that they're going to take care of you, maybe you need to let go of that specific expectation. This can also talk about conflict between family, and if you're different belief systems, that can be something to kind of watch out for, that conflict. Again, there are all sorts of people who overcome these things. The important part is, this is kind of like the warning. This is like, hey, these are potential things to look out for, but how do you and your person deal with that and move forward? And then your person, Nine of Cups reverse. This is what they can do to help the situation. It's really interesting. I think that they need to be truthful to you and let you know like really what's going on deep inside. And then that way, you know everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and you can grow from there. I think that they have been putting on a little bit of a front with you. The Nine of Cups is like this really successful kind of wealthy merchant who gets everything that they dream and wish for. That doesn't always happen in real life. And I think, if you are open to, that's okay, we actually live in reality here, you can go forward, but they need to be honest with you on what is really going on with them. I think that they might put on some airs because they do have, they have these like really great big dreams. And I love that, because you can't have those great big dreams if you don't dream those great big dreams, right? But that doesn't mean that you have them like all of a sudden, like right now, that everyone is going to win the lottery tonight. And it's one thing to like be in that energy of manifestation and to want these things and to be in that vibe, but it's another thing to be a little bit delusional. And they need to not be delusional with you, if that makes sense. And final advice forward, and we've got the Two of Pentacles reversed. So we need to bring some balance in here. Things are imbalanced and they're organized, and there's some chaos going on. Even if on the surface it doesn't look like there's chaos underneath. So the Two of Pentacles reversed is talking about, like you can see this, is bringing some structure and order to your relationship and your life. Because if this person is the one, you're going to be dealing with whatever chaos is going on in the background. So you need to know what that is, and they need to be honest with you. Cards going forward. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So that's really interesting. Especially with this soul belief card here, that there could be some issues between you and your parents, you and your partner's parents, your partner and your partner's parents, just that kind of generational thing. So it looks like, it's not just maybe something that's impacting you and your person, it's family issues. Because again, if we're looking at somebody who is the one, you are marrying everything. You're marrying their family, you're marrying their credit score, you're marrying all of these circumstances. You need to know what's going on. And yeah. So, ooh, wow, finances and career, financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So some that's interesting. Some really big signs on that. Further advice, surrender. The energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and to yield to the flow of love and life. Very much kind of what I was talking about here with this Nine of Cups, that we need to let go of illusions. We really need to know what's going on, and not that we can dwell on them, but if we don't know what the issue is, if we don't know what the problem is, we never solve it, right? If we know that the issue is that we're not paying down our credit card, or if we're ignoring our student loans, we need to define that issue, because then we can tackle it and take it forward. And then we've got sixth chakra. The energy of the third eye chakra supports our inner sight and intuitive abilities. So very much back here to the owl. Follow your intuition. You know what's right in this situation. You know what you want. You know what's right for you. Listen to that inner voice inside your head. So that's what I have for you, Group 4. I hope you have a fantastic week. I hope this resonates for you and helps you find some clarity. And thank you very much for watching.